Hey, Pat. Hello? Let me see here. Good morning.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, it's okay. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. Everything's good here. How's everything there?
Oh, everything's good here. Just making the start of the morning the best I can. Yeah. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, David.
Nice to see you both.
You too.
How's your week's been?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm starting to miss California. It's finally hitting me that I moved.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's been coming up?
Just that it's a lot, like, like confidence drops, just starting over, like the whole reality of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It'll be
I'm glad
fine.
Yeah.
It takes time. I did it 10 years ago. I can do it again.
Yeah. Where did you move from before?
Chicago.
Okay. Wow.
And I had lived in that area for 20 years. So
Gotcha. And then before that?
Before that, we were pretty rootless, moving every couple of years.
Okay. Military family or just?
No, I'm old, David. I'm gonna be 65.
She's a baby.
Changing jobs, and my husband changed jobs a lot when we first got married. I mean, the longest job he had was the 10 years in California, the company he's retiring from, and at the end of March. So it's just like a transition time in life. And, because I gave up working after 20 years too in October, like pretty suddenly. So, and just because of the war and COVID and all this change, it's just sometimes feels like a lot.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I think that might tie a little bit into a topic I'm bringing up today that we'll work on a little bit with our breath. But before we get into that, how you doing, Pat?
I'm good. Thank you. We're good. Rich's back is feeling better, so that's happy.
Oh, good. Good. I know it's cold last week. I didn't see him in class. I think he went to an indoor class.
The wind blew him away.
Yeah, the wind was pretty strong.
And then he got home and it was a little calmer and he says, oh, I should have gone. But then it got, as you know, much worse. So
yeah.
Fair weather man.
Yeah, I totally get it. Well, thank you all for showing up today. And I guess a lot of people are watching the classes, so and recordings they can't make this time. So it's nice to know that
it's not really just us.
Well, no, that other people are getting benefits from the practice too.
Good. Good.
Whether it's 2, 1, when I first started teaching yoga classes, there was days where there was just only one person showing up, and that's okay.
And now it's 40.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but it always teaches me to just be humble and always remember that the practice isn't about me. It's about the teachings itself and what comes through the teaching. So for this week, I've been covering over these practices from this book called Power versus Force, and I've been sharing it in my yoga classes and meditation classes. But what I like about the breathwork classes is I feel that we can also work with our breath into some of these areas in our bodies where we may be holding on to some restrained grief or grief that is hasn't quite surfaced yet. And what I mean by surfaced yet, meaning that we may have pushed it down or stuffed it down or tried to save face in some way, because let's face it, showing grief in public is a very difficult thing. And there is no rule book or even a book out there that says how to grieve properly. Most of us, our introduction to grief was however our parents grieved, but for a lot of people that was done privately. And there's also a lot of shame in our world, sometimes around the topic of grief. Things like if we're feeling sad, this is more towards my experience with it. Like if you're feeling sad, well, man up and get over it, or, it's going to be okay, or stay strong. You hear these comments, but that actually isn't really fixing the situation at all. In fact, in clinics, we would even discourage people from saying things like that, because the fact is that grief has no timeline. We can grieve for many, many years. Example, my mother passed away when I was 18, and I never really learned how to deal with that grief properly. So what I would end up doing is just numbing it and, conforming to more addictive behavior patterns, because I really didn't want to face some of the heartache and pain that I'd had, as well as dealing with some of the insecurities that came up with that too. But as we focus on this topic of grief, grief isn't necessarily just loss of a loved one or loss of a pet. Grief can be all sorts of things. Grief can be moving to a new location. Grief can be the separation of friends that we had with close-knit networks. Grief can be postpartum with a pregnant woman and after birth. Grief can be with children leaving the nest and going on to college. Grief can be changing jobs and, once again, either moving to a new location or separating from that group of coworkers that we used to work with and cohabitate with in a workspace. So grief isn't just focused on necessarily loss of a physical person, but it can constitute from many different things. And so what I wanted to do is share a little bit from this book to give us more of a clinical perspective of understanding grief. And then I'll talk briefly on how we can work into our bodies a little bit with this. Good morning, Julie. Thank you for being here.
Rose.
So he says grief. Grief, this is the level of sadness, loss, and despondency. Most humans have experienced it for periods of time, but those who remain at this level live a life of constant regret and depression. This is the level of chronic mourning, bereavement, and remorse about the past. Keyword past. It is also the level of habitual losers and those chronic gamblers who accept failure as part of their lifestyle, often resulting in loss of jobs, friends, family, and opportunity, as well as money and health. Major losses in early life make one later vulnerable to passive acceptance of grief, as though sorrow were the price of life. In grief, one sees sadness everywhere: the sadness of little children, the sadness of world conditions, the sadness of life itself. This level colors one's entire vision of existence. Part of the syndrome of loss is the notion of the irreplaceability of what has been lost or that which it symbolized. There is a generalization from the particular so that the loss of a loved one is equated with the loss of love itself. At this level, such emotional losses may trigger a serious depression or even death. Although grief is the cemetery of life, it still has more energy to it than apathy does. Thus, when a traumatized, apathetic patient begins to cry, we know that they are getting better. Once they start to cry, they will begin to eat again. And when we mean by eat again, it's not just obviously eating physical foods, it's eating in more nutrient-dense information, relationships, context. And again, everybody grieves in a different way, and there is no timeline to it. So please, if you're grieving, you're going through grief, please don't say, oh, I got to get over this now, as if it's, has to end. As human beings, we go through cycles of grief. And, what we do find, and he mentioned it here, is that if we have a loss early on in our life, well, we tend to be more vulnerable to accept this sort of passive, life is grief, life is negative, life is loss, life is, helpless type thing. We don't have to live that way. He also mentioned the fact of if we've been living a life of regret. So if we've been regretting something in our past, regretting something that we've done, we can always work on that. We don't have to continue living in the past. And the thing that takes place physiologically, when I spoke to my clinics this week, I got a pretty good litmus on where different individuals feel grief inside of their bodies. For the vast majority of people, it was this vacuum-like sensation located around the chest and heart, as if there was an emptiness there. That worked its way up into the throat, so that there is tension and stress through the top of the throat and through the base of the throat. And for a lot of people, it also resulted in tension throughout the jaw, the clenching of a jaw, as well as stress over the head. Predominantly, this is my left hand. I'm not sure if it's showing that on your screen, but predominantly on the left side of the head. Now, this can be for several different reasons. One, the left side of the brain is for processing data, logistics, making logic out of things, whereas the right side of the brain is more of a perspective. One thing that we can do when we are working through grief is, when we're working through grief, we're constantly cycling through that one particular thought or series of thoughts, only sticking to trying to make logic out of something in the past. Something that is helpful is to do exercises like playing music or art that uses the right side of the brain to help load a different perspective. But what we find is we're stuck here in the head. As it travels down to the throat, we find that people start getting choked up when they speak. So they have a difficult time articulating words, articulating tone, and creating tone through their voices. There also tends to be a disconnect between head and heart. One thing that I find is helpful is, even in this moment as I speak right now, I can feel my heart beating. And so I try to use my heart more as an anchor to the present moment. So that way, when I do choose to speak, I'm speaking more with a connection to my heart, rather than just thinking words and just spitting them out. Other areas where we also can feel grief, the pits of our stomach. And for a lot of people, grief can be found in the hips, which is why when people start to do hip openers, there tends to be an emotional break. Not in every case, but in some cases that is true. He mentions this at the end, and we'll get into our practice, that, you know, when a patient begins to have, or a client begins to have, an emotional breakthrough crying, that's usually a good sign, not a bad sign, because it's that holding back that's actually causing stress and tension. It's the release and letting go that's allowing more space to take place. If you've ever been working through grief, or if you have any questions on it, well, you know, I'm still growing and learning about this stuff. I'm always happy to lend an ear and you know, provide some level of guidance if you ever need it. So please know you can always reach out if you're struggling with that. But let's get over to our practice. If any of those areas that I talked about made sense for you, let's focus on some of those areas in our practice. You can grab a bolster, and I'm going to put the microphones on mute for now. And I'd like us to go ahead and lay back on our backs. Everybody can see me. And as you lay back on your backs, we're going to start with some slow, easy breathing to begin with. Long, slow, deep breaths. Place our left hand over our heart. We'll place the right hand on the belly. And as we settle into our practice, begin to let go of your day, let go of your week, let go of what's next and what's to come. Start to feel the breath, connecting to the inhales and the exhales. Connecting to the depth of the breath, to the pace of the breath, to the balance in the breath. And let's begin to breathe slowly together. Please take a long, slow breath in, filling your lungs all the way up. Out the nose, exhale. Inhale, breathing through our noses, filling the lungs all the way up. Breathe down the spine into your lower belly. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale, please fill your lungs all the way up. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale, fill the lungs all the way up. Exhale, letting it go. Not in any rush. Taking your time breathing. Inhale through the nose, breathe down the spine into lower belly, chest expands, collarbone spread. Exhale, letting it go. Inhaling. Exhale, letting it go. And inhale, fill lungs up. Exhale, letting it go. About 3 more rounds. Inhaling. Exhaling. Two more rounds. Inhaling. Exhaling. And inhale. Exhaling. Continue to breathe slowly on your own. And as you breathe slowly on your own, notice how just taking a couple of minutes to slow down and breathe is already beginning to affect your bodies. Scanning through your body from your head to your toes, observe where there may be any stress, any tension, tightness, soreness, imbalances taking place in your bodies. As we move deeper into the practice, stay with the breath, let go of what you can, be here now. And then taking a moment just through the practice of self-inquiry, let us just ask ourselves honestly and sincerely, in knowing that whatever's response comes up, we're just accepting of. But if we were to ask ourselves internally, do I feel at grief anywhere in my life? Am I feeling grief anywhere in my body? What answer comes up for you? Has there been some grief about what you may have heard on the news lately that's been stimulating your body somehow? Where is that? Can you feel where that sensation is? Has there been a loss in your life? Where is that within the body felt? Perhaps in the chest, the heart. Have we gone through a large transition? Remember that it's okay to feel and think these things, that you're safe. But one thing that we can continue to do as we move deeper into our practice is use the breath as a centering point in the present moment, not to push away or disassociate, but to help move the emotion through us, and to also gain more clarity of not just the emotion itself, but where that emotion has been holding tension within us. For our next breath, we're going to take a long breath. We're going to hold it at the top. As we hold it, try to relax your body around the inflated lungs. And we'll hold in silence for approximately 20 seconds. Let's begin. Breath retention. Please take a long, slow, full, deep breath in, breathing down the spine into the lower belly, chest expands, collarbones spread, shoulders down the back, long spine, relax the face, lips, eyes, mouth, and forehead. Hold your breath at the top, 20 seconds. Try to relax your body around the lungs. Exhale, letting it go smoothly. Notice the sensations that may arise. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Relaxing through any panic reflexes that may come up during the breath hold. Let's try that again. Empty the lungs completely. Then please take a long, slow, full, deep breath in, filling your lungs all the way up to the top. Breathing down the spine into lower belly, chest expands, collarbones spread, shoulders down the back, long spine, neck, relax the face, lips, eyes, mouth, and forehead. Hold at the top. Relax around the lungs. And exhale, letting it go. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. We'll do that one more time. Please take a long, slow, full, big breath in, filling your lungs all the way up to the top. Breathing down the spine into the lower belly, chest expands, collarbones spread, shoulders down the back, long spine, relax the neck, face, lips, eyes, mouth, forehead. Hold your breath at the top of the inhale and try to relax your body around the inflated lungs. Exhale, letting it go. Empty the lungs completely. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. And smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Now for our next breath practice, exercise, we're going to do a breath that involves a tonal sigh. So we're going to take an inhale through our nose, and then we're going to find our voices. And you're going to hear my voice, obviously, but not anybody else's. What I'd like you to do is make an audible sigh. So it's not just going to be a breathy, wispy sigh like that. It's going to be more of a inhale, sigh it out. Now, the reason behind this is because after talking to patients and clients about the stress that builds up in their throats, learning to reconnect to our throat, some would call this even the throat chakra, it's our ability to speak our truth. When we have this area closed off, so our ability to speak is closed off as well. But through practice of creating tones, and it doesn't have to sound like mine, but through the practice creating sustained long tones, we're able to relax the muscles around the throat. So let's try this. In the comfort of your own home, don't worry about the noises that you make, just let it out and let it be a soothing sound for you, whatever that sounds or feels like. Left hand is still on the heart, right hand is on the belly. Let's do this together. We'll go for about 2 minutes or so. Let's take an inhale through our noses. Tonal sigh, sigh it out. Find the full range. Inhale. Sigh it out. Try to feel the vibration through your chest. Inhaling. Sigh it out. Inhaling. Inhale. About 5 more. Inhale. Sigh it out. Inhale. Find a soft tone. Inhale. Sigh it out. 2 more. Inhale. Sigh it out. And 1 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Notice the sensations in your body. Inhale. You may feel a tingling or a lightness. Exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. Exhaling. All right. So this next breath we're going to do, it's going to be a forceful exhale, but we're going to add a tone to it. And we're going to make the sound ha. And so by doing this, we're contracting not just our diaphragm by pushing the air out, we're also using our rectus abdominis muscles and transverse abdominis muscles to create that link in the exhale that is a forcible exhale. We're going to create a little bit of a squeezing through the vocal cords to make that ha sound. So the breath is going to be in through the nose, out the mouth, ha. And we're just going to push the air out. Once we get started, you're going to go on your own. So it'll be a full inhale. And then a ha, push it out. Inhaling again. And then push it out. Ha. Okay. Again, don't stress about the sound. It's going to be a very staccato. It's a tone used or word used in music, but it's going to be a very quick sound that comes out of our bodies. But just try to push the air out. We'll take about 2 minutes together to do this. And you're going to go at your pace once we get started. Let me get my timer set. 2 minutes is up. Take a big breath in. Exhale out all the air. And inhaling. We begin. Huh. 30 seconds. And exhale out all the air, empty the lungs all the way out, then pause at the base of the exhale, hold and relax into your body. And inhale. Fill the lungs all the way up. Hold the breath at the top. Hold and relax into your body. Exhale, letting it go. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Now, we're going to get a little more dynamic with this. We're going to do 2 rounds of a double inhale, strong exhale. So it's going to be a so we're using our diaphragm and core muscles to pull the air in. Once again, it's a staccato type breath, double inhale, and then a push, strong exhale. You're going to feel a whole vibration move through the body as you push that air out. After we do 2 minutes, we're going to exhale out all the air, empty the lungs, and we'll relax into our bodies as much as we can. Now, it's normal for the panic reflex to show up, so you might feel a little anxious. The panicking may come in. Try to just relax into your body. Know that that is a symptom of the work we're doing, but you're going to be okay. Once we relax into that, feel as much as you can. And then I'll say, take an inhale after approximately 30 seconds. We'll hold the breath at the top for another 30 seconds and then keep relaxing into your body. And then we'll do it one more time. So let's do this together. I'll try to explain the best I can as we go through it. Double inhale, strong exhale. First, a clearing breath, inhale. Exhale out all the air. And let's begin. Nice and strong. Exhale all the air, empty the lungs all the way out, then pause at the base of the exhale. Relax your entire body. Hold the breath at the best of the exhale. Inhale, fill your lungs all the way up to the top. Hold the breath for 30 seconds. And exhale, letting it go. Smooth breath out. Inhaling through our nose. Exhaling, release. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling, release. One more. Inhale through our noses. Exhale, release. And we're going to do that again. Inhale, clearing breath. Exhale, release. And again, another 2 minutes. Begin. Nice and strong. Strong exhale. And exhale all the air, empty the lungs all the way out. Pause at the base of the exhale and relax into your body for approximately 30 seconds. Relax, 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 relax. Relax into your body. Inhale, fill the lungs all the way up. Hold the breath. Relax into your body. Exhale, letting it go. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Now the next breath we're going to do is going to take about 5 minutes. And this one is going to be a dynamic breath. And we're going to stay laying on our backs. And it's just going to be through the mouth. And imagine breathing into your entire body quickly. So it's going to be pulling air in, suction with the diaphragm and core muscles, and then pushing it back out again. You're going to feel your cheeks puff a little bit. And I want you to focus on really pulling the air into your body and then pushing it back out. Now, going for 5 minutes, this will elicit what is called tetany in the body. You're going to perhaps feel your hands tense up. They're going to feel like they're tightening. You may feel it through your feet. You may feel it through your wrists and forearms. Know that that's part of it. What I'd like you to do is relax around that as much as you can. Keep the breath going. And if you absolutely need to stop, that's okay. But try to relax around that tensing sensation. We're going to do that for 5 minutes. At the end of the 5 minutes, our bodies are going to be super saturated with oxygen. So we're going to exhale out the air as much as we can, and then we're going to pause. We're going to pause and hold that for approximately anywhere between about 45 seconds to a minute. I'm going to set my timer to a minute, but if you have to release sooner, you can. After that minute, we're going to take a big breath in and hold our breath at the top. And I'm going to hold my breath for approximately 1 minute. Hold for as long as you can. If you can hold it for a minute, great. If you can't, that's okay. All we're doing is training to work our lung capacity as well as soften up some of the tissue that's in our lungs to create more expansion. All right, so let's do this. 5 minutes, breath work, pushing in and out through the mouth. Let's begin. Inhaling. Exhale it out. And 5 minutes begins. 2 minutes. Inhale. Exhale all the air. Empty the lungs all the way out. Relax into your body. Let the navel drop down. Relax. Relax the hands. Releasing. 1 minute. Inhale, fill the lungs all the way up. Fill, and relax into your body. 1 more minute. Hold as much air as you can. And exhale it all out. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. And smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Beautiful. Let's start to move our fingers and our toes. Circle out your wrists and ankles. Roll your shoulders out, turn your head side to side. With the deepest, longest inhales all day, reach the arms up and over the head, long stretch. And on the exhale, bending the knees, release the arms down along the sides. Slowly roll over to your right side. Use your left hand to press yourselves up. And we're going to come seated. And as we come seated, if you need to sit on a bolster to help your hips, that's fine. And we're going to finish our practice off today doing a little bit of Ohming. Now, Ohming I find is an opportunity, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Ohming is an opportunity for us to be able to connect to our voices. And a lot of people don't do this, I find, or really feel into their own voice and tone. I feel they feel discouraged because of judgment and criticism. And sometimes when we're also holding on to areas of shame or guilt, connecting to our voices is a difficult thing. But I'm always reminded to just come back to the heart. Don't worry about that stuff. That's just mind sometimes working through discomfort. But let's be in our bodies with this the best that we can. So we're going to do about 10 ohms together. Let's sit tall with our hands on our knees, palms face down. Lift the chin. Let's take an inhale. Exhale out all the air. And inhale. Inhale. Inhaling. Inhale. Elongating inhale. Elongating again, inhale. Four more, inhale. Three more. Feel the Om through your entire body. Last one, inhaling. Take a smooth breath in. Exhale, letting it go. And just notice how your body feels. Notice if it's vibrating with a little bit more energy or sensation. You know, and as we move through the rest of our day to day, stay with the breath. Breath is always an anchoring point. It's always a point where we can come back to if we're working through something, working on something, or letting go of something. Remember that you don't have to do it alone. Placing your hands over your heart, big breath in. Exhale, we bow our head down to our hands and hearts, honoring ourselves today, our practices, for showing up on our mats. We honor our friends, our families, our loved ones, and our supporters in our lives. Gratitude for the many blessings, gifts, and abundance. And in gratitude to the many teachers and guides who came long before us, who passed along these practices called yoga. Releasing the hands down, opening the eyes, and lifting your chins. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you so much for practicing. Let me just hop up here towards the camera. I thank y'all. I hope you feel good. I hope you found the practice helpful. And, you know, if you need anything at all, please reach out. Community is immunity in a lot of different ways. Community helps build our health. We all have our gifts and our talents. And I have my strong stuff. I know that you all have your strong stuff. And we all have these big, beautiful hearts to share. So I thank you all. Grateful for you. Have a wonderful day. If you need anything, let me know, okay?
Thanks, David.
Thanks, friends.
Thanks, David. It was great.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Julie. Good to see you.
Hi. Yeah, I know. It was
Welcome.
a great class, and my mom passed away last year, so this is perfect. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry, but if you need anything, let me know.
But this was a perfect class, so thank you very much. Yeah.
Sure thing. Absolutely. Okay. Well, have a beautiful day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Take care.